Good evening, everybody. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. Welcome to Pub Table Racers. My name is Tim Packman. Sitting next to me is my co-host and friend of 23 years,
Warren Brosell.
and a darn good guy. How was your 4th?
It was uneventful.
Uneventful.
So it was good.
Very good. Yeah.
Just some beers and some
Yeah.
pool time, and
Perfect.
actually on the 4th we had ribs.
Ribs.
Ribs, yeah.
It's good. I saw you had him on Facebook there.
Yeah.
We'll-
I did that because of Rusty Jarrett. Do you know Rusty?
I know the name, yeah.
He's always posting stuff that he smoked or cooked, and it always looks really good. And these were pretty on time, so
Sure.
I had to.
Very good.
I had to share them.
It's good. I went to Carter County Speedway on Saturday night. Got Ryan Collin, our former
Yep.
DEI teammate. He's now the general manager, and Angela Walker was there.
Yep.
Our IT specialist. So beautiful track out there by Emerald Isle. Gorgeous track, 4/10. The guy that built it, Bobby Watson, just incredible. what he
Good to
did.
see all of them.
It was good to see. It was kind of neat. We're all standing together like, this is kind of cool. But the racing was good. So if you're headed out there on vacation, check out Carter County. Hi, Mom. Diana Haynes' mom. So did that. And then Sunday was 4th of July was Gerald's pool, and we had a little fireworks action.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
And the one that got away, apparently.
You talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you get the black eye, Tim? Jessica. Warren and I finally got in our first
We
fight.
finally had it. Notice I don't have any marks on me.
He jumped up really high, got me, and he was so little.
Standing on this chair.
His chair. So, yeah, do you have a black eye? Okay, I'm just going to tell it, get done. So we're doing fireworks. We got this really journal about these awesome fireworks in Tennessee. We're coming back from Nashville. So we're setting them off. It's me, her son, and her son-in-law. So, like, we have them on a pallet. And one or two like jumped between the slats, and so they're going. So we said, the heck with it. So we put them on the ground. Well, this one, 3 went up, and then 1 went left, and then 1 went right. And as I'm turning back, out of the corner, I see this sizzling thing coming at me. And it was curving, and as I turned, I went like that, and obviously I didn't get it with my hand. I got it with my head.
Alcohol involved?
Nah, I was pretty sober.
Really?
No, I was pretty sober.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Right.
stupid.
You didn't catch fire?
No, I didn't catch fire, but it went boom, and I saw stars.
Back
and,
up, Terry.
No. I know what you're talking about. But I went down, there's a little bit of blood, and then Joe brought out the ice, and so.
Right.
But, I got up, and I'm like, okay, we got to finish this up. And her son-in-law goes, Tim, you just got hit in the head with fireworks. I go, hey, man, we got 4 to go, and one's a grand finale. We're lighting these things
Right.
off. He goes, okay.
Don't hold them in your hand. Remember that?
I remember. What was it? It was New Year's Eve.
It was over
It
here.
was, yeah. No, it was at your first house.
Well, we were doing it there too.
Yeah.
I think we did it here.
So we're doing fireworks on New Year's Eve, and my stepson,
Yeah.
Justin, he goes, okay, Justin, how you doing? You take it, and you hold it, also goes, boom, in his hand. He goes, but you gotta let it go.
Gotta let it go. Don't hang on to it that long.
He's like, you guys are nuts, man. You just moved here. All right, so that's what's up. How you doing? Pretty sober. Yeah, okay, Jessica, I'm not going to get details, all right? Just go with it. All right, tonight's show, our very special guest is Dan Lynch. He's going to be joining us here from Team Penske. Do we have anybody left at Penske? Did you get everybody on?
I'm working on a few more.
Okay, good. Got it. How about get one of these guys that does this? We haven't had one of those guys yet.
You know, I seen Blaney the other day, and I was
Yeah.
going to ask him, but he
Sure.
didn't look like he was happy. It was after.
Okay. What?
He looked like he was in a bad mood.
All right, that's fine. Well, maybe we'll cheer
You
him
got to
up.
get him on a. I think I got to get him on a Friday or a Thursday,
yeah.
but before
Cheer him up.
he has a bad weekend.
Sure.
You know.
Just like, oh, Pub Table Racers, I'd love to be on
Right,
that.
maybe,
You'd be
yeah.
the first driver from Penske to be
Right.
on. Tell him that.
Tell him
Sure,
we'll
that'll
dress up
cheer him
like
right
Star
up.
Wars characters.
No, that's his other deal.
Well, we won't let him show up as Princess Leia, and then it would be good, right?
Oh my God. Dan's James Bender. Dan's a paramedic. Have him look at you. Then again, forget it. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Bender. Forget it. I won't wish that upon anybody. All right. So tonight's show, we're going to talk about Road America, and then we'll talk about that real quick. We'll talk about SRX. Chip Ganassi. Big news out of there last week. I was floored by that. And then we'll bring on Dan. Our guest next week, Todd Parrott. He's going to be joining us, championship crew chief in the Cup Series, and he said, hey, I want to come on your show. Finally, we can talk to him. So Todd Parrott will join us next week.
Yes, our extra crew.
All right. Yes, well, that, so it'll be good. All right, so Road America. First time they raced the Cup cars in Wisconsin since, 1956? Something like that? 56 years, whatever
Before
it
I
was.
was born.
Yes, way before I was born, yes. Yeah, I think my mom was in grade school. But anyhow, yeah, I thought the reception out there, the fans,
Yeah, it was
turned out
160,000, they said. Or something.
140, 100 plus, whatever.
Yeah.
But they were going crazy. Who won the? Oh, Xfinity, Kyle Busch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Move on.
There was a sign someone was telling
What?
me about Kyle Busch.
Right.
It said, Kyle Busch eats corn on the cob long ways. I wouldn't have said it, but it's true.
Okay.
So
Got
it's
it.
just
You're just repeating
I'm just
something.
reporting
Right,
news,
okay,
yeah.
they're reporting news. That's awesome.
And on the back it said, "Show us your."
Yeah, okay. So while we're
That's
having
when
some...
you get in Wisconsin.
Speaking of great sponsors...
90 degrees and all that beer.
We need to talk about our sponsors. Our number one is Lake Norman Patio Game Rooms. Went by there a couple weeks ago. The Wine Barrel Furniture Bar. Go check that out. Pool, patio,
Game room,
all kinds of great stuff. Go check them out. Go see JoJo and Brad.
sports memorabilia,
Yep,
and
Guitars.
Hollywood memorabilia.
Guitars, signed guitars. Go check him out and tell him we sent you, and he'll give you a handshake, a hug, or a discount. It's up to him when he gets there.
Depending on how you can work it.
Exactly.
Are you ready for an upgrade? Need to refresh that patio? Want to add more fun to your home? Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms makes it fun to stay at home. We offer a huge selection of high-quality outdoor furniture, pool tables, shuffleboard, ping pong, and much, much more. Your oasis awaits. So don't miss the boat. Take your patio or game room up to the next level. Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms. Stop in today or visit us online at lknpatio.com.
Rapid Removal, Darren Russell.
Darren Russell.
He's been with us 3 months. Talked to him the other day. He's going to come back.
Yep.
He has the 20-yard containers on wheels. Just take in tight spaces.
Doesn't tear up your yard.
Doesn't tear up your yard. Removal of debris, construction, deconstruction, and what's his?
Your shit is his bread and butter.
There you go. So we got that covered. Also, we have the garage shop. A lot of great things going on with that.
Yep.
Tonight we just aired the Kerry Earnhardt episode we did at Old Armor Beer Company in Kannapolis, which ties in with the veterans. And it's owned by veterans, and the Earnhardt Outdoors Ale. What was it? Adventure with an Attitude. That's the slogan of the beer.
Okay.
So go check that out. That aired tonight.
Did you have one of them?
What's that?
Did you have one of them?
I had one today when I interviewed him.
Okay.
Well, you got to close it out
Yeah,
with a beer.
right.
You're in a brewery. What else would you do?
And it was the Adventure Ale.
Yeah, it was the Earnhardt Ale. It's pretty good. It's like going to the zoo and not looking at the animals. You know what I mean?
Right.
Got it. Can't do that. Also, we have behind you RacingJunk.com. If it has wheels and deals, buy, sell, trade, go check them out. They've been a partner of ours pretty much since the beginning.
Pretty close.
Pretty, all that. So there's our sponsors. We appreciate them. And if you'd like to sponsor, reach out. It's really affordable. You'd be surprised. Also, don't forget we have our merchandise. We have our hats today, tumblers, and we decided to model the black and the gray T-shirts. Few of these are left. A lot of those are left. A lot of those are left. Go to pubtableracers.com. Order yours. An awesome tumbler. It's hot out now. You want to keep your drink cold.
These are just as good as anything.
No, they're great. They're fantastic.
This is the Arctic model.
Yep, perfect. And also we have our hats. Check those out. And we have stickers. And if you want a children's book, your kids are home annoying the hell out of you, buy them a Funny Dan the Race Car Man coloring book and book.
And if they don't listen, you just beat them with it.
Beat them with a book. One's hardcover. It's good. But here, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. All right. Hey, everybody. We really appreciate you watching us every Tuesday night on Pub Table Racers. And Warren and myself say thank you. But we need a favor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As Elvis would say. Cheers.
Cheers.
We need you to do us a favor. On our YouTube channel, just give us a subscribe. It's free. We appreciate it, and that's all we really need.
Right.
Also, check out our website. What do we have there, Warren?
We have clothes, we have hats,
Right.
we have tumblers.
Yeah.
And, anything else you need that it has to say Pub Table Racers, we'll make it.
And we have children's books, award-winning children's books too, so check them out. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. YouTube, subscribe, totally free. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go. Appreciate you. Cup race. Chase Elliott. What's with the road courses in that?
He's good at it.
Really good. No, I'm just saying, it's like he's like awesome.
I had my mother-in-law ask me that one time, why does Jimmy Johnson win all the time? He's good.
He's good.
It's good. They're in the golf, they watch golf. I said, why does Tiger Woods win all the time?
It was good. Nicholson.
Good. What else did you say?
Okay, Jeanette.
What is
Mr.
Jeanette?
Hot Tomato here says Warren stuns the crowd with a Cobb comment, and Tim goes straight to sponsors a pair of true professionals. Hey, wait a minute. Speaking of, we've gone 10 minutes. I want to see how long we go.
Oh,
You're sneaking one over there.
I've been sneaking one since 4 o'clock.
It shows sometimes. You're gonna stick around the house.
Yeah,
You're gonna go check something out again next week. Warren, why do we have no highlight? Whatever you have left over for us to drink, right? Thank you so much for leaving
Well, we
me
drink
one.
the highlights because of our hero, Bobby Allison.
Exactly.
We have the beer on the show because this is Pub Table Racers, and you got to sit around, drink beer, and talk about racing.
Exactly. So you have that too, or is that one gone?
That'll be gone here.
Oh,
Sip.
Cheers to you folks. God bless America and racing. And you.
Dave Jeanette, thanks for your service
Thank
and
you.
your comments.
Yeah, please. What else we have?
Double fist in your
Oh, my mom says she's giving an endorsement. The black shirt is very comfortable and retains its color beautifully. And Greg Schlocker
like it too.
says, Greg Schlocker's watching. Perfect.
Okay.
So this is kind of like the summer line. This is kind of like the winter line. You know, if you go into a biker event,
I
you
like
got
it summertime.
That's all right. It's good.
I like the black.
So the cup race, pretty exciting there for a little bit.
Yeah, Cindric was very, very good. He had a little bit of some mechanical problems. I think he will be a force to
Oh,
be
yeah,
reckoned with.
definitely.
Eventually at these road courses. So there, Chase Elliott.
There you go. Chase Briscoe.
What else did you say?
No, Chase Briscoe,
He-
his best finish of the year.
Yep.
He's coming on a little bit. Stuart Haas. Remember we talked
No.
last week. You don't think they're coming up?
No.
So it's just one lucky. Okay.
Yeah.
I still think.
When Kevin Harvick
Yeah.
wins a race, I'll say they're coming on. If Kevin Harvick goes to Atlanta,
Yeah.
how's this? If Kevin Harvick goes to Atlanta
Right.
and at least runs top 5,
Okay.
I'll say they're coming around.
Okay. Got
How's
it.
that?
I'll give you that. All right. Top 5.
Top 5.
Let me write that.
Write that down. Kevin Harvick, top 5.
KH Warren BS. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Speaking of BS, in addition to our website and merchandise, we're also on Spotify, or Apple, Google.
Podcasts.
So if you don't want to look at us, that's the best place to go. Just have to hear us. That's all. We try not to rattle the bucket too much, but we'll try. It's not going to work though. All right, what do we take care of? Take care
That's
of all
good
that?
enough.
Perfect.
Let's get Dan on.
Okay, but I want you got to hit these things, Dan. That's what keeps us in business. That beer ain't free, buddy.
I about
come on.
had enough of you.
Oh, what do we have here? Wow! This Warren whips out his sword. A sword. Explain why you have a sword.
That is a gift from young Joseph Logano
From
the Bristol Dirt Race, the last great Coliseum.
wow. Can you cut cheese with that?
I mean, that ain't what I consider cutting a cheese.
Well, bratwurst. Bratwurst.
It does come with a sheath.
Sheath. That's
Look
pretty
at that.
cool.
It is. My kids are going to fight over this when I'm dead, they
As
said.
long as they don't fight with it. Oh,
Let
that's
me
the
put
one.
my sword away.
There you go. Put your sword away there, great warrior. Tim coming up July 31st for the big tour mod race. No skip, but I will be up July 24th at Wyoming County for my Uncle Don Packman's memorial race.
Nice.
And so I can't do both. What else? Oh, Chip Ganassi. What are your thoughts on that? Boom!
Dan,
Real quick,
let's bring Dan on. Come on, we'll talk about Chip with Dan.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little segue, a little change here. Not a change. Our guest, Dan Lynch.
You bring other guests on and talk with us.
Dan has something to say in every single show. He's got the witty comments.
Right.
And he's a road mechanic for Team Penske. We're going to talk about his path to here, what it's like to work with Warren, and just racing in general. And this guy is dressed tonight. He is dressed the best we've had so far. Dan, come on up. The crowd applauds.
The reason I'm at the reason.
Hang on, I gotta go check on things.
Bathroom's closed. No.
Look at this shirt. Look at that shirt. That is awesome. That is authentic.
That's authentic.
Stavola Brothers
Spaghetti,
Racing?
we used to call them Spaghetti Brothers. Stavola
Hurry
Brothers.
back, Bobby. That's after the 88.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The Miller
So where did you
Racing
get that? Where could one get that?
My buddy Brent Wentz lent it to me.
Lent it, yep.
Lent it. He owns a little vintage apparel shop that he does, and where'd that sticker go? Did you
What's
move
it?
it on?
Oh, I put no. It's right here.
It's
I gotta get my advertisement in
what's
too.
it? It's called Days Gone By.
Yep, but I wanted to show everybody because this is pretty cool. Anybody that knows Hutch Pagans,
Right.
back a old
Oh yeah.
Right, their vintage look.
deal. So
Hold that out there. There you go.
There you go.
give Brent look up there, and he's got a really cool store.
There you go.
A lot of cool stuff that I bought from him. And
You good now? You want to put it on your forehead? Or you good?
I can if you want.
No, it's your deal.
If Brent wants to sponsor us, he could.
We've
Right.
talked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
We offered to have him on too.
We need to have him on.
You're
So I got to open my own beer.
yeah, you got to open your own beer.
Okay.
Hey, we handed it to you. All right. Well, first of all, welcome to Pub Table Racers. Finally, in person. There we go. All right. Boy,
Chip
you gotta-
Ganassi, let's talk
All right,
about
Chip
Chip.
Ganassi. You're
What do
on
you
the team.
think about that?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, the way that they kept it a secret
Yeah.
to everybody is
This
incredible.
Sport. Right. In this sport.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knew really, and
Even the people on the team.
Yeah, their own
Right,
guys there.
exactly.
Like, what
I
happened?
golfed with one of their guys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I guess the price of these charters these days. I mean, you might as well just go buy a team. I
Right.
mean, it's then you get the charters with it. And
So Trackhouse bought.
Yep.
They got the 2 charters from Ganassi.
Yep.
So they're keeping Suarez. They already said they're committed now. Who gets the other seat? And then is Busch out of a ride and Chastain, or Kurt Busch come over with them? Or I mean, that's something they have to decide.
or is it somebody else?
Somebody
Right.
else. They both might be out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Chastain, though, once again, he's caught in this spot.
Yeah, he's
Just
getting,
started. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say they've been gaining a little bit of
Yeah.
momentum.
Huge momentum. Yeah.
And
Lost his
now
way
he's going to maybe get shuffled
somewhere
out
Yeah.
because of this buyout, right? Or
Right.
or
Yeah.
sale,
Right.
however you want to put it.
I thought it was interesting. Also today, speaking of Atlanta, they announced that they're going to pave it from 24 to 28 degrees. Big
That's
difference?
kind of a big deal.
Is it a big
Yeah.
deal? How so is it a big deal? From you guys and you guys
From
end.
24 to 28, it's
Yeah.
a lot more banking, and
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be faster into the corner now because not as much braking. Which
So I'm going to say this: the new car having zero offset in,
Oh, yeah.
in the back end
Right.
and no side force, the higher banking will let it'll help that car there.
absolutely.
You know, it's gonna
Yep.
be, it'll help it stay in the racetrack more. Obviously, the flatter tracks with no aero side force, these cars they're gonna probably be in a little bit of trouble.
Inside scoop
Yeah.
you're getting here,
They're gonna be
folks.
loose.
Only Pub
I
Table
mean, they're gonna
Racers.
be loose anyways,
I
but
hear from the real guys that work on these cars.
I hate to see them pave it though. I mean,
Right.
I
Right.
mean, it's one of the last tracks that we had with the big fall off, and
yeah,
you know, it makes for really good racing. And I mean, maybe I'm a little biased because we won the last race there, but
Right.
with Blaney. But yeah, it's to
I
me,
think
it's
out of
great
I
racing.
think out of last 3 or 4, we won 2 or 3
Yeah.
because Brad won.
And even back to the Kurt Busch days, we won a couple of Kurt Busch
Yeah.
back in the day. I mean, we've had a lot of success
Yeah.
with Penske, you know, there at Atlanta. But man, I love the rough racetrack. It
Well-
makes. I mean, you got to have a better setup.
Right.
It's not. I mean,
The driver's got to take care of the equipment better.
exactly. There's a lot more to it than just
Yep.
you know flat out. So,
Well, here's a stat. 25 last 26 races have been
That's
won
your
by
thing.
Penske, Hendrick, or Stewart House.
oh,
25 last 26.
At
No,
Everywhere.
In general.
oh, really?
Yeah. Hogs. That's all right. Someone else
last
did.
what?
25 of 26, if I read that correctly. Got a stat
So okay.
I'm not-
I'm one of these guys who thinks that, you know, it all comes around in circles, right?
Right.
And I've said this before, you know, what was it, 3 years ago, Toyota won more than half the races.
Right.
And,
I'm sorry,
and
yes.
then last year, Ford
won a bunch.
won more than half the races.
Right.
And now it just happens
Now
to be
Chevrolet's-
Chevrolet's turn.
I'm sorry. It's Penske, Hendrick, Gibbs. Sorry. Those are the three.
Penske, Hendrick,
25 of the
Gibbs.
last 26.
Which is Ford, Chevy, Toyota.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
there's your parity.
There's your three teams that are dominating. They don't need to worry about charters. Your fan club's chiming in here. Who's Declan?
Declan.
Declan.
That's
All right,
my,
next try.
That's my little cousin.
Okay, he says woo. Greg.
What kind of beer did you pick out, Declan?
Greg Schlocker says Dan the Man Lynch. Wendy's Deli. Go ahead.
Yep, Greg
Who's
Salaka is the guy that married me and my wife.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you live, there's 3 people that live in your house?
Well, I mean, maybe.
I didn't want to go there.
I did. No, I am.
You work with them.
Actually, there is. I got a 9-month-old dog.
Oh, okay. Well,
We'll get to the
congratulations.
family-
That's right. You do have a
Yeah.
good dog.
All right, so he
Give
was
us a little
he
bit of
performed.
volume.
Yeah, just speak up a little bit there. Yeah.
Okay. Wendy's Deli. I mean, the staple when I go back home.
Okay.
Buffalo chicken salad is amazing there, and she makes it special for me every time I go. And,
Very nice.
Yeah, just best sandwiches, best food, whatever.
Okay.
Wendy, you're freaking awesome.
All right.
You can say that.
Who's Aaron Walter?
Aaron Walter, he's one of my old neighbors, good friend of mine.
Okay.
Yep. Dan
Dan
Russo.
Russo. Hey, buddy.
He's my uncle. That's not an uncle, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I have nephews like that.
Right. Caitlin Beebe.
Yep.
Looking
Caitlin
sharp, Dan.
My cousin, and
Right.
we all know Jeff Miles.
Yes.
Jeff Miles, all right.
Jeff says, ask him about cooler racing when he first came south.
So that's one of my stories I want to tell tonight, Jeff.
Okay.
So can we get into that?
After
let's
go
go.
ahead.
Yeah,
We got a question.
Do you see a screen here with an agenda?
Jeff Miles was my gas can guy.
Okay.
My gas man. I
Where?
was his catch can, DI.
Okay, very good. Another one.
If it's big Jeff Miles, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to always
Truck
ask him
driver guy.
when he's due, because
I think that's the only Jeff Miles there is, anyways, right?
He's been pregnant for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But
All right, so cooler racing.
All right, cooler racing.
When he first came south.
so I was 18 years old. Buddy Tony Cardamone, who got me into BAM racing where I first started,
Right.
always had a pig roast. Him and Kevin McDowell, and things went on during the night. A lot of champagne beers were drank, I would say, and I was the only sober one there, which is kind of funny.
Okay.
But
But you're underage.
I was under.
Oh, you're 18. All right, yeah, so you
And
had to be.
I had to drive home. I was on the fire department at the time, volunteer fireman, and I was pretty adamant about,
doing the right thing.
whatever the next call is, I want to be
Right.
at. So you got to be sober for that. But anyway, these the big Coca-Cola, Gatorade coolers, whatever they might
With
be,
the wheels on
with
them.
the wheels on them.
The rubber, the big, the
Yep.
inflatable wheels.
We had,
Yeah, okay, got
we
it.
had two of them there, and Jeff came up with this idea of let's put. They called me Danny at the time because I was a little kid.
Sure.
Let's put Danny in the cooler and we'll push him down the hill. So
Was there a helmet involved or just
no helmet,
Oh, great.
a lot of beer.
No steering wheel. Okay, got it. Yeah.
But so here I go down the hill, and the thing starts wobbling real bad, and goes down to this house that's being built, and runs straight into a porta john. And the porta john flips over. I flip over. I'm out of it. Bad deal.
Okay.
But,
That really wasn't cooler racing. It sounded like cooler
as
punishment.
long as there's no one in the porta john, right?
yep. And
You did it hard enough to tip it, though.
yeah, that wasn't the end of the story.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we get the cooler back up in the driveway of Cardamone's house,
Right.
and we used to do this little nut tap thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I went up to Miles and I kind of did the little nut tap thing. Well, he picked me up and slammed me over the cooler, and I bounced up so high off it, I knocked the light off the garage, the outside light off of Cardamone's garage.
Wow. Was he with Stephanie at the time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she was all proud of all of this.
Yep, it was. I think she might have been pregnant at the time
Oh,
with
geez.
AJ,
With
the first
AJ.
kid, but it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty close to that. But yeah, I'm sure she was real impressed.
Yeah.
Well, after that great story, the Reverend says hi. Just
Yeah, the Reverend.
Perfect.
That's the guy that married us.
Okay, for the ceremony.
Yeah.
Performance.
David Alford said, hello, Danny boy from...
In the way, Dave. Turtle wax,
That's
Dave.
Yep, that's it. Declan, local IPA not as good as Northeast. Okay.
Gotcha.
Michael's Wendy's
Is that
Deli
Turtle
says Hearts.
Wax, Dave?
Yeah, that's Turtle wax,
oh,
Dave.
wow,
Yeah,
cool.
Dave Alford. Yep.
Yeah.
From DEI.
Yeah.
you know.
He used to
Yeah, I
come
know
up
that.
there.
Great guy, yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In the way, Dave. He's always always sidestepping.
a good guy, man.
Great guy.
Dude, awesome guy.
William Francis says hello from PA, guys.
Hey, he's a FBE. I don't know if I can say this or not.
He's actually just joined. I talked to him at
Okay.
Pocono. He just joined a police police force. He's
Yeah, but he's done
He was,
a lot of different stuff with the police
absolutely.
force and
law enforcement.
yes, law enforcement. Sorry, I shouldn't have said the FB word.
Sorry.
Facebook, yeah.
He's a Facebook police
I'm
guy.
surprised I didn't follow you yet.
I'm a huge fan of
all
Penske,
right,
though.
so
Yeah,
Sandy
great
Len,
and great guy.
Yeah.
Sandy Len says, hey, hi, Danny.
Yep.
Because
She's
she's from Delaware.
cousin of mine that lives a mile from Dover, Delaware
Okay.
track, and
Perfect.
actually the first race I went to was Dover, Delaware, and stayed at her parents' house, and which was
Okay.
phenomenal. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back.
Yep.
You are from.
Oh, Cutchaw, Long Island.
All right. Where did your interest in racing start?
So it started with Riverhead Raceway, which is
It's a little track.
kind of cool. At Pocono, we had it on the C post of the 12 car. Advanced Auto Parts is doing a thing with promoting local tracks, and Riverhead happened to be on the C post at Pocono. So I started there just as a fan, going with my parents. That was like kind of our vacation. I guess you can say every Saturday night we go to the race. And then my aunt met this one guy that was working on another car, and anyway, she got me into it and started working on this guy's car when I was, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. And John Mano, he is now a NASCAR official, which is kind of crazy, the whole full circle that it went around. But I worked on the 64 modified there.
Was it his car?
Yep,
Was it Mano's car?
It was Mano's car. His wife was a crew chief, Cindy.
Right.
I think because she owned it. But
Oh, that helps.
yeah,
I own it on the crew chief. Perfect.
yeah. So I worked there. I learned a ton, which was awesome, and really found out that I loved the sport. You know, like not just watching it, but I really wanted to work on these things. Not to mention that me and my dad built a couple hot rods together in the garage, a 56 Chevy, a 30 Model A coupe, you know, just a couple cool projects. My first vehicle was a 88 S10 that we put a small block 350 Chevy in, which is like, I mean, what high school kid has a small block 350? You know?
Right.
Yep.
And an S10.
Yeah.
True.
So that's kind of where I found the love for being a mechanic. And
Okay, so real quick, so we talk about this a lot, and you're the classic case, and I just want to bring this up.
Yeah.
People say, I want to get into racing, but they don't know what they want to do. What do you want to do? And we always say, go to your local short track, start helping a team.
Absolutely.
You might become a mechanic,
Right.
tires might be your thing, motors, spring, shock. So you enjoy the mechanical
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah,
So, like,
if you're not that sharp at that stuff, you become an engineer.
right. So when I started
You know
off,
what I mean?
I just got what you said. Nicely done. I will cheers you on that. You guys, busting chops on
I
the
cannot
engineering.
choose you on that one.
Why, you're not an engineer.
But I hope the engineers at work tomorrow say, "Hi Warren, how are you today?" Whatever. Okay, nice.
Beat it.
All right, so yeah, you're Riverhead. You're helping on the
Yeah,
team.
Riverhead, my first job, really, and it was more of a volunteer thing, but I paid my way into it. I had to pay my own license.
Yep.
I paid the $25 fee it was to get into the racetrack each week, and you know, but in return, I learned a ton.
Yeah.
And it got my foot in the door, and then so graduate high school. And my parents, you know, I'm getting ready to graduate that year, and they're like, listen, you know, either you need to find a job or you need to go to college, you know, something. So I signed up with NASCAR Tech and was headed there. Kind of hooked up with Tony Cardamone. He lived across the street from my aunt, who's Warren's neighbor here.
He lives across the driveway.
Lives
From Warren.
across the driveway now from where.
Can't get away
we're
from the
at.
guy, can you?
And, yeah, I know, right?
So you have family here?
Yeah, so my aunt lives in town here, and my parents just moved down, I don't know.
But when you were
When we're
when
talking
you were
about-
a
No,
kid.
so I was the first one that came down.
Oh, okay.
And
So
they-
you just came down here and stayed.
Yep, and they came wrecking.
Whose couch did you have to stay on?
I had an apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
One bedroom or two?
Two bedroom.
Okay, wow.
One room.
Yep. So it's, yeah, I had a roommate.
Maybe your
He
place
was-
in Concord?
I had a roommate. He was going to NASCAR
Okay.
Tech too. as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
He was from Long Island, which I met him before we got down here.
Okay.
But anyway, my uncle had worked at Robert Yates for years. Bill Johnson. We call him Wild Bill. I don't know if you guys know him at all or not, but he was
Maybe if
Song-
I've seen him.
song.
That's how it is.
he
Yeah.
was the front end mechanic for Ricky Rudd for years. He did Elliott Sadler for a couple years while they were there. Then went to Red Bull Racing. But he was a rear tire changer for several
I'm
years.
sure I know.
Yeah.
We saw.
But so I got in contact with him, and I'm like, hey, can you help me out getting into racing? And he laughed at me. He's like, hey, I got into it on my own. Like,
Right.
you can get it on your own.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. And
That's how most of it goes.
I know.
You know,
But
that was-
because you're not. They're not going to help you start at
Right.
the top.
No.
But that was the biggest life lesson I learned right there is,
Yeah.
is things aren't going to get handed to you.
Exactly.
You have to earn it.
Not in this sport.
And so anyway, I got into BAM Racing. I got an interview there with Tony. Sent me up with David Hyder, and it didn't go very well. I had very little experience and whatnot, and they pretty much told me at the end of the interview that they were very impressed with me, but without the experience that I have, that they can't hire me. I was like,
That's a cup team, right?
yeah, it was a cup
Yeah.
team. First job.
Who was the driver?
Kenny Schrader.
Okay, got it.
17 years old at the time.
You were.
Yep.
Jeez.
And so I was like, okay, well, is there something I can do? Can I come volunteer? Can I do whatnot? And they called me back about a month later, and they're like, hey, you know, if you want to come help Jeff Miles out on the truck, you know, you can get sort it out for the weekend, clean it up, stocked up
Right.
or whatnot, and
Do cooler testing.
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, we can go down, make sure the tires are inflated properly. But, no, and so Jeff was like kind of my mentor, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. He first week on the job, he brought me out some shirts because I was just wearing some plain white shirts,
Right.
And he brought me some shirts, so I really felt like I was part of the
Part
team.
of the team then.
at
That's,
the time.
around
that's
like
the
this.
first thing that makes you part of
Oh,
the
yeah.
team when you get apparel.
Sure.
Yep.
She's got to put on.
Yeah, as soon as you get
So-
apparel.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
Christmas time, our family goes on this big family cruise,
And you're wearing them shirts.
and I fly out from Charlotte, and I meet my whole family at the airport. And here I got the Swans racing,
Oh, yeah.
Bam racing, collared shirt on. I think I'm like the coolest guy in the world, But
And you walk like this
yeah,
to
exactly.
the airport with the
Yep.
shades on, slow-mo music.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
go ahead, yeah.
But no, it was awesome. Jeff really helped me out, and still to this day we're really good friends. And
Should be.
He's a good guy.
dude,
All right,
awesome
so this
guy.
was so you were
Yep.
you were just
just volunteering.
volunteering, full-time volunteer
Uh-huh.
position.
Yeah, pretty much.
Full-time, punch in, punch out. Yeah, go
Yep.
ahead.
So like 6 months into this deal, I'm like, all right. I went to Hyder, and I was,
You did tell us something earlier about it when we asked.
Oh yeah.
You got to
So-
tell us how you're. What did you get for volunteering?
So I got to go to the. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell us, but
Sure.
it's okay. The team shut down.
Right.
But so I got to go to the grocery store with Miles, and we drove I had a Chevy Blazer at the time, and we drove that, and we filled it up with gas on the way, and we might have bought some groceries for the
Oh,
house.
so there was-
So there was a little compensation in
Oh,
the
so
deal.
here you go. Is this for the
But-
team? This is for me.
Yeah.
That was
That's
a crew chief. That was Hyder
that was
and
Hyder.
Jeff taking care of you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's good.
Yes, and Hyder, I can't say enough about that guy.
Good.
He's hands down one of the nicest guys that really took care of
Yeah.
me and taught me a lot.
Okay. But you're in an
Yeah.
apartment at the time.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
And so 6 months come, and I got to pay rent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Groceries.
You're
I'm paying
officially out of
bill.
money.
Excuse me.
I only have so much in my bank account, and so I went to Hyder and I was like, "Listen, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore, unless I get paid." And he says, "All right, well, we can start you off, and we have a position open for you." So it started from there.
What was the position?
It was tear down.
Okay.
So
Got it.
when the cars got back, I was with One Eye Todd. There's a guy, Todd, that worked at the shop. He only had one eye. He had a glass eyeball, and he'd pull it out and hand it to you. Yep.
Here, hold this a second.
Don't lose this.
And I
I'm
hope
watching you.
I hope Todd's watching because I haven't forgot this.
Obviously.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
That's when you say that's not glass.
Let's play Marvel.
Those are rubber.
It's a Super Bowl.
Yep. So
Go ahead,
I worked with him and Willie Everham, Ray
Oh, yeah,
Everham's
yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
I worked with the two of them. And
It all makes sense now.
yes.
All coming together. Keep on that game. We're with you. Keep going, bud.
So
It's your show.
yeah, that's your guys' show.
Yeah, keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so Indy test comes up, and every year they went to Indy and tested. And Hyder says, "I really want to bring you to the racetrack. You got, I want you to come with us." And I'm like, "Heck yeah, I'm coming."
Yeah.
And they said, "All right, meet at exit 36 at the Days Inn Motel." I'm like, "What?" And he says, "Yeah, you're gonna meet the hauler driver there. You drive up with him." All right. Well, it's a 8-9 hour drive to Indy at least. I'd
At
say
least,
probably.
yeah, I would say you could
Yep.
say 10.
10. Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, this is awesome. Get to go to the racetrack,
ride
ride in
the
the
hauler,
hauler,
right.
whatever. Hour into the trip, I'm like,
Hang out with Miles.
No, it wasn't Miles at the time.
okay.
It was Kenny Trader's personal. I don't
Okay.
know, truck
Got
suit,
it,
whatever.
right. So you get in the
whatever.
truck, you get
But
in
I
the
get in
truck.
the truck and I'm an hour in this ride. I'm like, this is the worst thing ever.
I made the biggest mistake of my life.
This is the most uncomfortable seat I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Right.
This guy's got to stop every hour for a Diet Coke and a Snickers bar, which I understand now because they got to stay awake
Yeah,
or
stay awake,
whatever.
sure.
And here we are driving through the middle of the night. And so anyway, we get to Indy and we park in this lot. It's like 6 hours before we get to go on the track, and I'm 17 years old,
Right.
this kid that wants to get
Do
out
that.
and
Get going, yeah.
Do stuff.
and here he goes and takes a nap, and I'm like, dude, we're at the racetrack. Let's
It's got 6
let's
hours.
go do
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And but anyway, it turned out to be really awesome. I got to cut a left front fender off and put a new one on, and those are things that I'll never forget.
Because he
You
hit
know,
because he hit
No,
something,
it was, it
because
was-
the fender sucks.
it's things that we used to do back in the day.
Right.
Was,
That fender sucks. Cut it
yeah.
off. How do you know? It
Yep.
just sucks.
So we wanted a
looking
flatter.
at
Yeah, we wanted a flatter fender, and
Right.
so we cut it off, put a new one on, and that was like my first real racetrack experience. That like, hey,
But
I'm
at
actually-
Indy though.
Yeah, at Indy.
Of all the tracks to make your first, it's Indy.
Yep. And,
The Mecca.
What you remember about what year this was?
2004.
Gosh.
So I'm surprised that you guys didn't go through the creek to get bricks.
Bricks.
So we did, and
Did you get kicked out?
so there's 11 guys on the team.
Right?
All right.
10 of us got bricks.
Oh,
I was the one guy that didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there's one right over there. He won't miss it.
It's a doorstop.
It's a doorstop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Former
lining
brick.
it up right now.
So you was working your BAM racing, you were working with Schrader.
Yep.
What was that? What was that like? You got to have some Kenny. I mean, Kenny
So-
is just such a character.
So Kenny is awesome, and so we're at this test at Indy, and this is probably my best
Go for it.
Schrader story?
Schrader
Yeah.
story. But we go. Everybody knows St. Elmo's, right?
Oh, yeah, steakhouse, yeah.
Very very famous steakhouse in Indy, and Schrader rents out the basement for
Yep.
us.
Great place. I've been in that
And
room.
they all know him. You know, everybody knows him by name. We get down there, we order, and I'm like scared to order because I'm looking at the menu and it's $100 steak. It's
Right.
$30.
You didn't know he was buying yet.
Yeah, and I don't have a dime.
Right.
Sure.
So they come to me and I was like, I'll take a Coke. They're like, do you want something to eat? And Schrader's like, get him a shrimp cocktail, and get him extra sauce with it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take that.
And were you a hot
Yep.
food guy, kind of, or not
no,
really?
not at all. And I had
Word in a couple minutes.
I had no clue about this
About-
either.
And no one's going to tell you
Yep.
being your first time
Right.
there, which is
Yep.
kind of the tradition. But go ahead.
So the shrimp cocktail comes out. Everybody at the table has one, and he's like, "All right, Danny, you got to get a big spoonful of that cocktail sauce because it's the best in the world." And all the signs outside all say the best shrimp cocktail.
Sure,
in the world.
it is. I think so.
I believe this guy.
Oh, yeah, of
You know,
course. He's my driver, man.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
So here I am. I'm loading up this shrimp with all this cocktail sauce, and I take a bite of it, and
You're overwhelmed.
yeah.
Oh,
I was
That's a, you know,
I was
takes your breath
grabbing
away.
I was grabbing guys' beers. I was grabbing waters. I don't know what I was grabbing,
Right.
but I was trying to suck it down. And man, he got me. But
So real quick, so
Yeah.
everybody doesn't know, St. Elmo's in Indianapolis is famous for the shrimp cocktail,
Yeah.
oldest steakhouse. It's where everybody, the elite, go to eat. And the shrimp cocktail are huge. Like if you drop one, you might bruise a toe or break
Yeah.
it. But the cocktail sauce
It's
is
like,
like,
triple X
and you
horseradish.
put it and you're like, and you know, the burn starts in the back of your
Yeah.
head, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
real good.
it's
Yeah.
a triple X horseradish,
Right.
that big chunks in
Yeah,
there.
big chunks of
And you
that.
just,
they sell it by the bottle now.
and then you go, and then you,
this
it's gone.
is good.
It's almost
Yeah.
gone as fast as it is.
Exactly.
It's overwhelming. I
But it
would
has
say.
that first impression.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah, I've taken people the first time like, don't ask, just eat. And they're like, what did you do to me? I'm like,
But the thing about it is, you take the first bite and you're like, oh, this ain't bad at all. And
Oh,
all of a sudden,
yeah.
like 10 seconds
like
later,
a
you're like, oh my
cartoon.
God, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you get anything else besides shrimp cocktail that
No,
night?
that was it, and that's all I can handle.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Darn.
But
Because the steak's
I'm
there.
sure you've had a steak there since then.
oh, definitely.
Yeah, once you learn how it works.
I got a,
Right.
I got a good Todd Gordon story later.
Okay.
When we
All
get
right.
to that, but
If we make
Yeah.
it there, this is
All right,
how.
we've got 20 minutes. We're good.
we're good. Yeah.
All
Don't
right.
be
So the middle part of my career and all that.
Okay.
That
All right. So Schrader, what else you got? Schrader story is another one.
I do, but I can't tell it.
Oh,
All right, imagine that.
All right. So you're BAM racing. How long
I'm
were you
married and I
there
got a
for?
kid now.
Yeah. How long were you at BAM racing?
I was at BAM for 2.5 years.
Right.
And Beth Ann, I mean, the owner of the
Yep,
team,
Great.
what an amazing person she
Mm-hmm.
is. We went to Dover, Delaware. My parents came. It was their first race that they got to see me in action as a crew member. And we went to this restaurant, and Beth Ann and Tony, her husband, was there at the time. And they let us stay at their table, paid for our meal. And to this day, they still ask. I see Beth Ann at Homestead every year.
Right.
And
Nice.
she still asks to this day how my parents are doing.
Good,
And
good.
that's kind of just the people that we
Right.
worked for there, and it was a fun time. I mean, we had a blast, and that was a birthday present for her. Her
I was gonna
husband,
tell you, he's
her
bought-
husband bought the race team
Bought the
as
race
a birthday present. Like, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Well, they
Note to
So,
self:
Kelly, if you want to buy me a race team for my birthday,
Sure.
don't get a full-time job at a birthday present.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you're there 2.5 years. Where do you go from there?
So I went from there to MB2 Motorsports.
Okay, who's the driver then?
It was Craig Kinzer at the time.
Oh, wow.
Which we did one race with him at Homestead. We were P1 in practice. Fastest thing there. Go out to qualify, dead last, missed the show. Whatever, you know.
Well, what a
Was that
Yeah.
a cup car?
Yeah.
No,
It was
it was
Busch
Busch
car,
car
it
at the
would've
time.
Okay, yeah.
I was
Yep.
gonna
So
say, yeah,
we were getting ready for.
Never heard of him.
Regan Smith was going to be our full-time driver the
Yeah.
next year.
Okay.
And we were kind of just prepping for that because Craig was going to be doing some late model stuff with Jesus Hernandez.
Right.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Carmichael.
Oh, yeah.
Was
Jeez.
also there. Yeah, that was
What was he like? What was he
pretty
like?
awesome. So I only got to meet Ricky once. He came in the shop one time.
Okay.
And I was an interior mechanic for the Busch team, and I got to help out, get a seat set up and everything. And that was like, I grew up watching Ricky race Supercross and whatnot, and so that was really cool. And I think I was more starstruck then. Like I didn't pay attention as much as I should have to how the seat should have been mounted as.
Nice.
I'm
Way to go.
dealing with Ricky Carmichael. But that's how we all
Right.
grow
Sure, you have
up.
your moments.
As the years go on, you learn.
You
that-
get numb to
yeah,
that.
exactly. Yep.
So from there,
so-
how long were you there for?
I was at MB2, and then it turned into the next year was Gin Racing, which I started off the year with Regan Smith on the number 4 Busch car. And at Daytona, the tire guy on the 01 Cup car, which Mark Martin drove, failed to show up for work.
Failed to show up for work.
Yeah, it might have. I mean, some champagne
Sure, yeah,
beers might
still.
have been involved in it or
True.
whatnot.
Got it. Bad.
So I'll never forget this. We're in the middle of a pit stop, and Ryan Pemberton is grabbing me. I'm trying to hand the tire over the wall, and Ryan's like pulling my shirt, and he's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Can we finish the pit stop here first?" And so anyway, he was like, "I need you to stay for tomorrow's race," which was the 2007 Daytona 500.
Poor. Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, whatever, I'm in." And
Did he tell you why or no?
no, so yeah.
I'll stay.
So-
Cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah, the race gets over. Get back to the hotel. I finally find out why. I'm going to be the tire guy on this car, whatnot. And I don't know if y'all remember the end of the 2007 Daytona
Oh, I do.
500.
Yep.
But we lost it by this much.
I remember. Yep.
To Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
And what a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
My first
No, you could have
like
been.
big opportunity to do it. But hey, everything works for
everything,
a reason.
yeah.
And so I was doing the 01 Cup car and the 4 Busch car for the first 10 or 14 races, I think it
Right,
was,
good.
until Indy. That's when they shut the Busch car down. And then
You were getting paid for that, weren't you?
no. I
No.
was getting paid for the Busch car. And
Okay,
then I just filled in for the Cup car.
Okay, never
But,
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
was.
that's how it
Sorry.
worked.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah. But hey, it worked out good for
All right,
me.
your
Right,
first paycheck. What was your first paycheck? Do you remember how much you were bringing home?
$237 a week.
A week.
Yep.
And what year
That,
was
that was
that?
after taxes.
What year?
After
what-
tax.
What year was that?
It was probably 05 by the time that
Okay.
I got my first one.
But you're only 17 or
I was,
18.
I was probably 18 at the
Okay,
time.
Still.
But yeah.
Right, got it.
Yep.
God bless.
Yeah. So hey, it is what it is. I
Right.
mean, it got me to the point that I am now.
Yep.
And
You're nothing but up from there.
No, exactly.
so
Good. You're
yeah, from
me too.
from
Again.
ME2 again, and then we turned into DEI. So I stayed with DEI with the 01 car for the rest of the season. And then Drew Blickensderfer talked me into going to Roush for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the 17 Busch car with the driver that I don't like to talk about. But,
Okay. What year was that? Look
yeah,
up, folks. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't put you on the spot.
So actually, we worked together.
it's a Wisconsin driver. If you can
Okay,
put
got
that.
it. Okay, got it.
We worked together there. I don't even. Why don't I remember you leaving and coming back? I just don't.
Because it was 3 months.
Okay.
I mean, we went how long with COVID without seeing each other?
Yeah. Well, that's
Well, actually, no, we
also-
were on the same.
Right, we were on the same shift.
Yep. So, but
It was 3 months. I'm sorry.
it's only 3 months.
It was all a blur to me.
Yeah,
But,
got it.
I got fired and hired, reback. That was, I had some issues going on back then.
Sure. Well, that's part of the sport
Right.
industry, yeah.
So I got in with back in with DEI with Doug Randolph.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Jefferson
Great guy.
Hodges, who was on the show
Yep,
here,
great.
who is one of our team managers now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable dude.
Yep.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And we work with Paul Menard, who oh, man, you want to talk about having some fun.
Laid back.
Yeah, laid back.
Sneaky, laid back, fun guy.
I don't think I ever seen him smile. He only smirked.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy, great friend. And then from there, Paul left DEI, kind of left us. Didn't leave us in limbo, but the team kind of was in limbo. And
Take it.
yeah.
I'm taking my stuff and going over.
All right, there's 120 of you that got to be fired now.
I was out of
Billionaires leaving.
I was out of a job, and I got laid off from DEI, and it was 3 months into it. I called my uncle, who owned a construction company in Long Island. I was like, "Listen, I'm moving back to Long Island. You got something for me?" And they're like, "Yep, come on. We'd love to have you back," because I worked for them in the summertime when I was in high school.
So really, at that point, you said you about had enough,
I was
right?
dead set. I'm moving back, and Pat Tryson called me.
Huh.
And he says, "Hey, we just had a guy, didn't do so well on his drug test." And
Wait, he failed it, folks.
Right.
Well, you don't do. Oh, you didn't do well. You failed it. You got caught for something.
We had a guy who studied too hard for his drug test.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, sorry.
and this is 2 weeks before they're leaving for Daytona.
Oh, worse.
And they said, we need a tire guy. And I was like, I got out of tires finally. Like, I want to be an interior guy. So I was like, but I need a job.
All right, I was going to say you took it.
Yeah.
Right.
So Travis Geisler was the crew chief on the 77, and I interviewed with him for, 30 seconds. And he brought me into Michael Nelson's office, and I didn't know the Penske way at the time. Like, I wasn't that familiar with it, I guess. And I showed up with ripped jeans, t-shirt on, and it wasn't good. But they needed a guy.
We're going to hold the show. I'm going to beat you behind this thing.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay, got it. Yeah, all right.
I'm clean shaved today.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
Sometimes.
But anyway, somehow I ended up getting the job and went to Daytona with them with the 77 with Sam. I was with Sam for 2+ years.
Sam.
Hornish.
Thank you. Good guy.
Yeah. Oh,
He's just
unbelievable.
like, great. Just a really good individual.
Yes, him and his wife Crystal, the daughters, Sammy, little Sammy, great people. But so I worked with him. God, we got some fun stories.
Give me one. You gotta give one. Just throw it out there.
I got this big scar on my leg here, but we decided one day that we were going to build a ramp at the end of his dock, and we went to Goodwill and bought every bicycle that they had there. And
I gotta hear this. Go ahead.
then we went to Lowe's and bought the noodles or whatever.
Yeah. The floats.
So we tied them around all the bicycle or all the framework of the bike.
Yeah.
And
So it would float when it.
Sure.
Yep.
Crash it.
So it was me, Nick DeFazio, Ryan Schutte, Nick Hensley, Hornish, Josh, his cousin or brother-in-law. Sorry, where there's this big hill that goes down to the dock, and we ride down this hill, and we decided to do backflips off of it. Well, everybody else does a backflip, and it's my turn to go.
You want to be something different.
Didn't work out very well for me.
Oh.
So I took all the skin off my leg.
I can't look now.
Yeah.
All right.
And got out of the water, and Crystal, Sam's wife, is like, you're bleeding, right? I was like, I'll be all right. I looked down, and yep, it's all gone. But after that, it didn't stop us. We kept doing it.
Right.
But we lost 2 or 3 bikes in the bottom of the lake, which
Okay.
we ended up digging out. But
Perfect.
Yeah.
so that was a lot of fun that we had.
Usually someone says, you're bleeding, right? I said, oh, well, I'm drinking, all right.
Well, that's the problem is we really weren't. Maybe that was a problem.
All right, someone's in comments. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
bleeding alive. Michael Bama Williams says, it's all fun.
Bama.
Hey, Bama.
It's all fun and games until you get choke slammed in the collar. You want to tell us about that? I mean, since you're on story mode here and we got 10 minutes left, go for it.
So Bama's our hauler driver on
Right.
the 22, which I haven't said this yet, but I work on the 12 Cup car right now with Ryan Blaney, and I also work on the 22 Cup car with Joey Logano. They kind of split our duties up to where me and Kyle Belmont, who
KB,
Yep.
prior guest.
So Kyle does Brad and Matt D, and I do. That kind of sounds weird. I do. But,
You help out. You work
help
for
out
it.
You work on.
Yep, on the 22 and the 12. So Bama, our truck driver on the 22, we were at Homestead, and we were just messing around in the holler wrestling, and he pretended to choke slam me to the ground. And Chris Hill, the shot guy, he went around and told everybody that that Bama choke slammed me to the ground, and it got around the garage in, I don't know, less than 30 seconds.
That's the garage, you know.
Right, Bama kicked the crap out of me, and, you know, whatnot.
Perfect.
So that's me and Bama's long-standing joke that we got with each other.
Okay.
I don't know what Lynch did,
I
but
see Joey Newman on there. Joey's a
We'll get
good.
to that one in a second. We got Denise Marie Thilberg says,
Yep,
hey.
yep. She's that's the Reverend's wife.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Denise Stokes Hall. Yay, love you guys. Hi, Denise. Cindy Mano says, but we fed you well.
So Cindy is John Mano's wife, who I was
Okay.
talking was a crew
Right.
chief on
Got it.
the deal.
so you worked for food.
Yep. Well,
Sure. Why not?
That's what we all did.
That was fun though. Like when we were done racing, it was a big barbecue afterwards.
Yeah.
And now it's like load the hauler up and go. You
Well,
know?
that was the big change I went through when I came down here.
Yeah.
Denise says, love the old Miller uniform.
Thank you.
Joey Newman, Dan the Man, definitely one of the good ones. There you go.
Joey's
Joey's
awesome.
good.
Fat
Joey's
kicker.
good. We,
Yeah.
Joey, if you would drive down here, we would love to have you on the show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Joey, if you would drive down here,
You're
we'd
awesome,
love to
dude.
have you on the show.
JL John, Sydney says, good job.
That's my niece Sydney.
Okay, perfect.
My sister's JL John.
All right.
But yep.
John Russell Norris was a great show. Thank you. KB, as Darren would say, ton of flavor. He's talking about, we're talking about the, we're back to the,
We got a lot of comments on here. I like it.
let's see.
What does Richard say?
Richard says, although I never got to work on the same team with Dan, he was always a very respectful and very helpful guy. I consider him a friend. There you
So
go.
I seen Puddin, who's Richard Coleman.
Okay.
I seen
that's
Puddin
Puddin, okay.
at Shoals the other day, and he left before I got to say hi to him. We were in the middle of lunch, but
Sure.
you're doing a great job with your landscaping company, buddy. Keep it up.
Okay. Here's a question. Caitlin Beebe says, what's your proudest moment in your racing career?
I mean, hands down.
By far, I know
I
what
mean,
you're going to say.
And I might shock some people here, and it has to do with the championship.
Okay.
Obviously, 2018. Lucky enough with Joey to win the championship, and Warren was right by my side.
Absolutely.
Which I got
We had a blast.
We got some cool pictures together. But so typically the driver drives the car into the champion circle, they call it. You know, the stage or whatnot. Well, Joey decides to do his normal burnouts and burn the car down. The car caught on fire, and Raymond, our car chief, grabbed a fire extinguisher, put it out, and whatnot. But so they're like, "Who's driving the car?" I raised my hand. I said, "I am."
To take it into
Yeah.
the victory part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had no clue what they were talking about, and
You just put your hand
I put my hand up.
Okay.
So I'm the interior guy, so I'm going to drive the
He
car.
knows how everything works.
Right.
And so they said, "Well, get in the car and follow the pace car. You're going to drive it around." I was like, "Okay." So I get in the car.
Did we put tires on it? I can't
Oh yeah,
remember.
we had to because they were blown out.
Yeah.
Well, there's no pace car, so I start like rolling forward a little bit, and nothing. So I stopped, and the official comes running up, and he's like, "Hey, pace car left. Just drive her around the track, nice and
Go
slow."
on the track.
Yeah, nice and slow.
Made a lap around.
Got it. I got to see how this.
So I'm like, nice and slow. You're right. I mean,
Right.
you know,
It's the last race of the year.
we just won the championship.
You take it away from us.
I got the flag hanging out the window, you know, the championship flag that he had. It's hanging out the window. There's, fire extinguisher dust blowing everywhere. I can't breathe, whatever. So I'm catching gears as we're going through. I'm up to fourth gear, which, God, it had to have been over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Jeez.
sure.
And I'm driving around Homestead and just,
People think it's Joey in the car.
So I ended up getting the in-car footage of this, which is pretty cool. And I'm sitting there the whole time. I got one hand on the wheel and the other hand I'm just fist bumping the whole time. Like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I come off turn 4 and there's this crowd of people, a stage, everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, I need to start slowing down. I press the brake pedal, go straight to the floor.
Ooh.
Oh, this isn't good, because he blew a brake line out
Oh,
as he was
perfect, great.
when it caught on fire. So I start downshifting, like no big deal. So I come like creeping in to
Sure.
to the champion stage there. I get out, whatnot. I get up on stage, and Michael Nelson, who's our general manager, he goes, "That's the one time that you could have done a burnout or done anything, and I would have looked the other way." Like, now you tell me.
You just glad you put it in.
I had no brakes.
All right.
So that was probably one of my proudest moments, that I actually got to drive the championship car into the champion's stage or whatnot.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
I like that. I like that you just told that.
That's a great moment.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
you're the only one in the world that got to do that.
I think I am. I
Um,
don't know.
Kyle Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Kelly goes right
Yeah.
to the gutter.
I can
Says,
only
got any
imagine.
Shark Lounge stories?
Oh, yeah, not that I can.
Okay,
tell.
great. Yeah, the Shark Lounge.
Yeah, I got a story. They're closed.
They're closed. That's it. They're closed. The place was so awesome they tore it down.
It's a traffic circle now.
All right, so let's talk about your family. You.
Yeah. I got my beautiful wife, Kaylee.
How'd you meet her? Wow, okay.
This is kind
Another
of
story.
Racing guys never meet a white girl. You know what I mean? It's always.
through a racing story. So,
Go ahead, yeah.
C-Dub, who Steve-O,
Yeah.
his son C-Dub, who Chris Williams, he works in our shop with us in our suspension department. He was getting married, and I was good friends with him. His wife he was getting married to was her horse trainer at the time.
Got it.
So he comes, I'm in the car doing my nut and bolt, and he puts his phone in front of my face, and he's like, "What do you think about this girl?" I was like, "Damn, she's good looking."
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, come to my wedding on Saturday." What's her name? And so anyway, I show up at his wedding, and I didn't know that I was competing against another guy.
Oh, nice.
So C-Dub's wife then, or who
Wife,
we got married to,
right.
had picked out this other guy, and so I get there and I'm late to the party, of course, and they run out of beer already.
Ooh.
And I mean, I couldn't have been but an hour late and already out of beer. So I mean,
Well,
what
it's a racing
Yeah,
wedding.
that's not a Polish wedding.
Exactly.
so they're like, "Hey, you're the only sober one here. Why don't you run to the gas station and get us some more beer?" Okay. They said, "This guy's going to go with you." Perfect. So we go to the store, and I was like, "Dude, I'll get the beer, you get the wine." And he's like, "Okay." So I buy him out of beer. I mean, every beer is $200 or something.
Sure.
In beer. And he buys one bottle of wine. One bottle. And
Nice.
whatever. Maybe he didn't have a lot of money. I
Sure,
don't know.
that's fine.
Yeah. So we're
Or
on the
maybe
way.
just cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
We're on the way back to the party, and I was like, "Hey, who are you here with?" He's like, "Well, I was here to meet this girl, Kaylee." And I'm like, "Oh."
With one bottle of wine, you ain't going nowhere, pal.
I can all
See all this beer?
Me too.
How'd that go? That was
Well,
a
guess
high
what,
com-
bud? I won.
Yeah, because I'm going to say, I mean this in the nicest, respectfully, you definitely outkicked your coverage.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah,
I mean that in the
I mean,
nicest kind of way.
And we got the most beautiful daughter, Isla Ray.
All right,
She's,
so
nice.
wait, back up.
Yeah.
Back up. So that you go to the wedding and things
yeah.
go good.
Things went great.
The other guy disappears with his bottle of wine and his sippy straw
With
with
his
it.
tail between his legs.
That's it, yeah.
So
Capri Sun.
there was this old pickup truck in the woods, and she was there with her mom and dad. Her
Got it.
dad left early.
Yeah.
Her mom was ready to leave. She sends these two guys over, and they're knocking on the door of the pickup truck. And we're not doing anything. I mean,
Oh, you were in the pickup truck.
we're in the
Oh, okay,
yeah.
you left that little
Yeah.
part out. There's a pickup truck,
Yeah.
now you're in it.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
we're in it.
You're talking.
Yeah, we're talking.
Talking.
And so I was like, "Man, I really got to pee." So there's a porta john right there. Well, I go in the porta john, I come out of the porta john, they're gone. And I'm like, "Man, I didn't even get her phone
It's like
number."
Cinderella.
That was the
It's
end
like
of it.
Cinderella.
I don't know what this girl's name is. I'm drunk
Right.
now, So
Right.
I ended up sleeping in the back of my
You
Tahoe.
saw my best lines.
Yeah, I sleep in the back of my Tahoe the rest of the night. I drive home the next morning, and C-Dub texts me. He's like, "Hey, it's Kaylee's birthday today. You should come see us." And I was like, "Who's Kaylee?" Wow. Yeah. He goes, the girl that you were hanging out with last night?
Oh, yeah, the pretty girl? Yeah, perfect.
So, anyway, I didn't end up going there, and it was like a week later. Her mom finally convinced her, because we've been texting back and forth,
Sure.
to come over to the house. And she came over to the house, and I don't think she ever left since.
Oh, that's good.
But, which is, yeah, it's great.
Sure.
And so
Got
then
game.
at our wedding, C-Dub,
Well, how long before you got married?
she was only 3 years, so it
Oh,
wasn't very
3
long.
years.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, we knew right away.
A woman won't say
Yeah.
only 3 years, just so you know. A guy will say, that's only 3 years. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we met in 12, and we got married in 15.
Perfect.
Yeah. So,
And a man will
Yes,
say,
sir.
when they say, "How long you been married?" Jesus, seems like forever.
A dumb one. A smart one won't. I mean, a dumb one. So you got married. Go ahead.
Been
15.
a lot of years in between.
Yeah.
So we got married, and
My phone's ringing.
at our wedding, C-Dub stands up and tells a story.
Mm.
He said he was mowing the lawn the next day, and he ran over something that shot out the lawnmower, and he went to pick it up, and it was Chick-fil-A's is what he called it. She had some things to make.
Oh, got it.
A little
Okay, got it.
bigger.
Right, yeah, okay.
And
I'm in trouble here.
yep. And
Wow.
so she's telling the story in the middle of her wedding, which my entire family there, my grandma, like, like, come on, man, like, you know whatnot. So yeah.
And she's still with you?
Yeah, she's still with me. So
Okay.
it's been great.
Your daughter?
We got a 9-month-old daughter, Isla Ray. She's actually today she's 9 months,
Very
which
good.
is awesome. We got her little race car already. She's 9 months old. She's got it's an Indy car.
Of course.
Remote control power wheels.
Right.
And we can't get her out of the thing. It's pretty awesome.
So, was she into racing when she met you?
No, she hated racing, and I think she still does.
Okay, perfect. But she loves it. That's all perfect.
Yeah. So we won the Daytona. Quick
Oh,
story.
yeah, fine.
We won the Daytona 500 in 2015, right before.
With Joey.
Yeah, with
right?
Joey. Yeah. Thank you for
Thank you.
Yeah.
fixing me there.
I'll help.
But so we won the Daytona 500, and I called her and
Because
told
we
her.
lost that year. No, but go ahead. With Joey.
So we had to stay over that night, or we didn't have to, but
Oh, yeah, you're
we
staying.
got to stay over that night to go to the breakfast in the morning
Sure.
and the trophy ceremony. So I called her and told her that, and she was like, "What? Are you kidding me? You're not coming home tonight?" And I was like,
500, baby.
For breakfast? Really?
and she didn't realize how big of a deal it
Right.
was. So it was like,
Right.
But no, it ended up being great. And,
Yeah.
we had a blast.
The breakfast that you go to, if they did a breathalyzer, everybody would
Oh my
fail.
god!
Right
I
now.
don't think any of our eyes were
No,
open.
we've
during
been
the
there. I know a
breakfast.
couple times. So.
Yep.
They were going to do a flaming bananas, but everybody would have caught the place on fire.
I think it was 4 o'clock in the morning. We got back to the hotel,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
remember.
6 o'clock. We had to
Couple of
be
those.
at the track.
Yeah.
So-
So one year I just got back to the breakfast.
Right.
I didn't even get back to the
Oh, just
hotel.
made it in, brush your teeth, fix it up. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Dude,
I appreciate you supporting the show.
Been fun.
Great stories, man.
Cheers.
Congrats on
Thanks,
continuing
Dan.
your career. Love how you got here. You worked your way. You didn't step in anything, and that's what you do.
Thank you guys. Appreciate
Yeah, I
it.
think this was a good show.
Always. Even if they're a bad show, we always going to say it's good. Next week, Todd Parrott. Have a great, safe week. And should we say it?
Say it.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Thank you, everybody. Have a safe week. Wow. Hey, another great show.
Great
Thank
show.
you so much, everybody,
Yep.
for tuning
Enjoyed
in.
it.
We appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night. And Warren, I think the guests we've had have been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And the people that are following us, we appreciate it. We're reaching 42,000 people a month. Can you believe that? And we appreciate you watching. And
Right. We're having fun. Hope everybody else enjoys it.
that's it. And it's just a fun show. Bucket of beer. Guys sitting around talking about it. So keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out our store and everything. But we appreciate you people. And we will see you next week. Right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you next week.